everyone? Welcome into another episode of the Dairyland Drive podcast. Collin, Mike, and Riley are going to talk whatever that was Sunday night. A tie, I guess. If you didn't know, now you know. NFL game can end in a tie, or if you haven't seen one in a while, it still can happen. We're going to break it all down, and I know there's a lot to talk about. A fun game, exciting game from the offensive standpoints. Defense, not so much. And then obviously the end of the first half, end of overtime, clock management and game management. We're going to talk about it all, along with a few other things across the league. But yeah, let's just jump right into it. Mike, Riley, first off, I want to hear your initial thoughts on ties still being a thing in the NFL, of just where we're at with that, of like, yes, I know, like in the other football world and soccer world, ties are a thing. However, you get points for them, through the table, throughout, the league, league play. However, in the NFL, a tie doesn't really do anything for you. It's not a win. It's not a loss. It's just kind of there on the record. So just what do you feel after a game like that? Like, it's that awkward feeling of like, you don't really know what to do, right? Because Packers haven't really been involved in a tie in quite a while, that I can remember. But I guess
2018.
2018.
I was there.
So okay, yes, I do remember that. So yeah, I mean, Sunday night after that happened at 11:15, 11:30 before going to bed. Like, what's the mindset after a tie, after a game like that, back and forth?
Are you talking like? I mean, I think ties in general in football are stupid. Like, I'm all in favor of going to college rules. That's just my 2 cents, how I feel. This tie in particular, it felt like a loss to me, honestly. Like, I felt like we lost. I did not feel good about how that game ended. About how 2/3 of our team performed on that particular night. I don't know. It felt like a loss instead of a tie to me.
Yeah, same. I mean, definitely the feeling was not very good after that game. And yeah, see, I don't care what gimmicky BS you want to throw together, like kicking contest, punting contest, 7-on-7. If you don't want to do I don't care. Finish the game in a win or a loss somehow. I don't care. Whatever you need to do, college rules, high school rules, you get 4 plays. I don't give it something. But yeah, the tie is, or just take away the clock and do the same. I don't care. It's something. There's got to be something better than ending in a tie at the top level. Is just, it's stupid.
Mm-hmm.
I think the first thing you have to look at too, if both teams are going to get to be able to possess the ball, like I feel like you need like a full quarter, not like cut it down to 10 minutes, right? Like, that has to be the first place to start in the future, is actually make it a full 15
They used
minutes,
to.
right?
They cut it down.
And then they cut it down. Because then I feel like both offenses can actually get 2 full possessions, and then probably that third possession change to actually decide the game, right? Like, I would like to think that should be like the starting place in the off season, if this is going to get brought to like the owners meeting. I don't understand why it's 10 minutes, because like 2 good drives from 2 good offenses. Yeah, unless like, yeah, you force the teams to go for 2 if they do score. Like, yeah, I'm sure there's definitely some things I think that you can add to it that doesn't completely change it. But yeah, just kind of ending it like that, what was kind of crazy. Or hey, like, yeah, go to like a double to overtime rules of, like you said, the college side of things. But let's just get into it. Our 3 and out segment this week is just going to be offense, defense, special teams, and then we'll get to Mike's fill in the blank. So first down, let's talk about the offense, because probably the bright spot of the night for the Packers was the offense's ability to, I guess, move the ball and score points. Statistically, probably one of the best games of Jordan Love's career, right up there of his ability at least to make plays in the air. The ground game, I know, is still a lot left to be desired with that offensive line. With Josh Jacobs, Emmanuel Wilson he looked pretty good, in that backup role, but I would have to think, like, coming out of this, like, scoring 40 points. I know not a very good Dallas defense whatsoever, especially on the back end. But after that disastrous game against the Browns, it has to be at least encouraging with that, basically couple backups in the makeshift offensive line for that game, it has to feel good to put 40 points up. I know it overtime, I guess 33 in regulation and then the 7 in overtime. Was that kind of your takeaway for it? Just overall, when you looked at, I guess, just the entire game. I know we can kind of go like maybe, drive by drive of certainly there was some, questionable maybe decisions or questionable, the turnover at the end of the first half, it was obviously a big one. And then the end of overtime, just the lackadaisical, but overall, you got to be pretty happy with the bounce back for the offense, right? Of going into the bye and at least scoring 40 and kind of having that momentum.
Yeah, and the big thing for me was running game still continued to struggle there in the first half big time, but it was nice to see them finally kind of break out in the second half. Seemed like Morgan and Kennard in particular, kind of the backups were finally starting to create some holes for Jacobs and Emmanuel Wilson. So that's the biggest thing that I'll be looking for going forward coming out of the bye is if they can continue that going forward. And hopefully, once Zach Tom comes back, maybe Aaron Banks too, whenever he gets back, like, can they continue that run game success that they found in the second half?
And Riley, want to ask you guys a follow-up question before you add it. How much is the banged up offensive line holding back this offense right now, or is it not? Or is it LaFleur? Is it some of, the skill players that they have, or maybe some of the hurt skill players they have? Where are you at kind of with that of what's maybe completely holding the offense back from fully taking off and, being consistent of what we've seen certainly with drives, sprinkled in these first, few games?
I'm going to go all LaFleur. I don't know what his plan is, what he wants. See, I'm going to be in the minority. I'll just say I don't think the offense played that well. Love had 2 chances to win the game. He didn't do it. LaFleur called the entire overtime conservative, like they were trying to run the clock out. Like, I don't even know, like, why running it down to 0 and playing for it. Like, what, like, if you're not coaching to win, like, what the fuck are you doing? And, like, just so much, like, what in the fuck are we doing with Matthew Golden still? Like, I still don't know. I don't care that we scored 40. I fucking just watched Caleb Williams do the same thing. I saw fucking Russell Wilson throw for 500 2 weeks ago. I don't give a shit. Like, I still know what the offense is. I don't know what he wants it to be. I continue to see Fitzpatrick and Musgrave out there. Musgrave's played 77 snaps this season, and 45 of them are blocking. Like, like, fucking get him off the field. Put an extra receiver out there and pull a linebacker or a deep. Like, there's no, like, I just don't, what are we doing? All of it, like, over half of his yards, I saw a stat. It wasn't half. It was like 48% were on fucking, like, screens. It's such a gimmicky college. Like, it's just very obvious that LaFleur, for whatever fucking reason, which I don't know why we paid Jordan Love then. LaFleur does not trust Jordan Love. I have no idea why, just to let him fucking rip. On the first drive when that bomb to Golden, like, what the fuck? Him and Wakes were in the same spot. It's not like the offense is just a shit show. It's just Dallas is so fucking bad that it didn't matter. The run game is, I think he wants to be the identity, but, like, they're obviously, the run game is just not happening. Everything's so slow and trying to do the shit that worked last year with Malik Willis, with Jordan Love. And then, although Jordan Love, that is the one bright spot, I will say, Jordan Love is running ability. He actually, like, looks like he can, like, move now for whatever reason. It's taking a big jump. I'm blaming the floor. I don't know what he's doing. And I guess he always does this. He always slow plays it into each year. And then by the end of the season, they're full of whatever. But, like, we've been talking about these young guys now. This is the 3rd year. Like, these fucking young guys got to stop being young guys at some fucking point in time. And, like, we got to, like, get more complex. It's just, like, if you, like, all day I watched the 12 o'clock window, some of the good games. I watched the 3 o'clock when I saw the Dublin game, all that stuff. And it's like, then you watch the Packers and it's like, why the fuck? Like, it's just not the same. And I don't know how to put it into words, but the offense is just, like, it's so, it just reminds me it reminded me of watching, like, Oregon versus Penn State the night before. It's more what the Packers offense looks. So I don't know. I don't know if it's Love. He doesn't trust Love, like I said. I don't know if it's still the young guys, but banged up he has a million excuses. I guess I don't know. I don't want to say, like, I'm not going to say LaFleur is a dipshit completely here, but, like, whatever is holding him back, like, because I've seen him do more stuff before. We all have. Like, I don't know. He just got to get something going identity-wise, and like trust some of these guys at some point in time.
Yeah, and we've talked about this multiple times. I mean, it looked like there was like a clear blueprint 2 years ago after that Cowboys playoff win, right? Like we saw some of the flashes of these young guys that you mentioned that we're still talking about. We saw flashes of love like the last part of the season, and it's just that identity is now lost. Like I don't think there's an identity on offense, right? Like what does the offense do well right now? Throw screens, or at least attempt to throw screens.
They don't even do that well.
I'm telling you.
Like
Romeo just that bad.
Yeah, Romeo Dobbs had a great game, 3 touchdowns. But like when you look at his stats, it's like 5 catches for 40 yards. It's like, well, where was he? Where is he at when Dontavian Wicks? He had like 2 catches, both in the fourth quarter. Like he's your number 2, like because they don't want to use Golden. Golden's not out there. Like he's the third out, and so Dontavian Wicks is your number 2, and we've all talked about like his ability to get open and all this stuff and blah blah blah, but like they just don't even like. There's nothing downfield like crossers or like I don't know what the offense is. It's like so gimmick. It's a college offense. It's so gimmicky right now, and like I mean, I was high on Savion Williams coming into the draft. I thought the Packers should draft him, like whatever, but like they're using Savion Williams more than they're using Matthew Golden, Dontavian Wicks, and Romeo Dobbs. There's more shit in like gimmicky bullshit in for him than there is those other 3. It's not even close.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. And it's kind of surprising too, because we all thought after we saw Golden during training camp and even some of the preseason that the training wheels were off. Like we were going to see him be a huge part of the offense, like wide receiver 2 across from Dubs to start the season. And that's been the furthest thing. And the crazy thing too is some of the deep routes that he's ran, he's been open majority of them. Everyone. I know Love hasn't connected with them on a couple times, but every time he's ran something downfield, big play wise, he's been open. So yeah, I agree that it's crazy that not more shots are taken. And I think that's what it has to go back to is I just don't know. I don't know if Love is trusted. I don't know if these like skill positions are fully trusted by LaFleur to like run what this offense is capable of. And again, is that because he doesn't trust the offensive line to give him enough time? Is it just because the run game is just non-existent right now of kind of marrying the run and the pass? I don't know, but we've certainly seen flashes of what this offense can look like on certain drives, but I would say that the takeaway has been just a lot of inconsistency so far. And we'll see. Some guys get healthy. We mentioned the offensive line, a couple of starters on the offensive line. Christian Watson supposedly is going to be back at practice or is back at practice. So we'll see what that timeline looks like to what he can add to the offense. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, statistical-wise, Jordan Love's numbers are going to look pretty good after 4 games. But I think there's a lot left out there by the offense that we just, haven't quite seen yet, or a lot to be desired still. But let's go to second down. We got to talk about the defense. Was it as bad as the 40 points the Cowboys scoring? And we'll start with you, Mike, from a fan perspective. What was your takeaway from the defense? Were you super like shocked, super pissed off, or was it almost like a tip of the cap to Dak of like, because let's not take that away. Dak played pretty good. He played pretty good. George Pickens played pretty good. But that had to be a little bit surprising after especially how that first quarter went and how dominant they were in that first quarter didn't look like Dallas was going to do anything. And then boom, that changed pretty quickly where they couldn't get a single stop. So what was your kind of overall takeaway and mood after that game on the defensive side of thing after a really good first 3 weeks of the season? So kind of the oddball out so far in these first 4 games.
Frustrating for sure. Super frustrated. There just wasn't like that intensity and aggressiveness that we seemed to see the first two weeks for sure, and the third week in Cleveland. It just didn't seem like they were like rallying and hawking to the ball like they had been those first 2 or 3 weeks. I don't know. I mean, and then like give George Pickens credit on that one deep bomb. like down by the goal line there. But Evan Williams, instead of going for the kill shot, make a play on the ball, dude. Like that's your opportunity. Um, I don't know. I was just so frustrated with them all night, and I mean, people have talked in the couple days since how like Dallas's plan was, a lot of quick passes, get it out quick to the receivers, and then there's like no adjustment on Green Bay's part to come up and try to play the ball and like break on the ball when it was coming out quickly. Like everything, all the defenders were way back, just kind of waiting to tackle the ball carrier. And I mean, they didn't even tackle that well like we had seen the first couple weeks. So I don't know. I was super frustrated by how they play. Like, yeah, I don't know. It was maddening.
Yeah, it was. I thought I was watching fucking Joe Barry call the defense again. I don't know what Halfley was doing. Like, and if they had a great plan for Dak, or not for Dak, for Micah, so give them credit. And Dak was audible and moving people around to make sure he was getting doubled every time. But okay, he's gonna get doubled. Can we fucking blitz? Like Mike just said, can we blitz somebody? Like Edgerrin Cooper is known in the league as being one of the best blitzing linebackers. And like they didn't fucking, I think he blitzed like twice the entire game. I saw the stat or like, what the fuck? Yeah, I think the only thing it showed is our corners, like we kind of all talked about all offseason and worried about. And Keyshawn was playing great, but like 1-on-1, like that's obviously their weakness if we're not going to get pressure. But like at the same time, they were sitting back and they weren't in like positions to like even dictate what the receiver was doing. And I mean, credit to Dak. He was kind of just saying fuck it there at the end and just started throwing shit up to George Pickens, which is what I was pissed that the fucking Packers didn't try last week against the Browns. Because that's what you do against when the defense's front's better than the offensive line and you can't block, you just say fuck it and chuck it up to your best receiver. And he made more plays over either side. Couple no-name receivers made plays. I don't know. Yeah, but energy-wise too, like Mike said initially, energy-wise on defense was like, I don't know. I thought they'd fucking come out hair on fire. I would assume, I mean, they all seem like they like Micah, so they would play for him. But, I mean, it kind of just, because how that went, it was basically a Jerry Jones just said, fuck you to you guys. I keep trying to say he was right about the trade and rubbing it in their face. So I thought they'd take it more personal for that and do it for their teammate. But, yeah, there was no energy, no emotion for all of that. And it being on Sunday night primetime. Like, I don't know. I don't know what it was. And, yeah, I don't know. I don't know whose job it is to get them fired up, whether it's on Halfley or that's on the floor as well and not getting the team ready. I have no idea, but all in all, not good. DBs got exposed. I'm pretty sure that's going to be the recipe. Me and Collin are going to their next game. I'm pretty sure that they're just going to fucking throw the ball up to Higgins and Jamar Chase 87 times in a row. Hope to God they can hold up. Otherwise, it might get ugly.
Yeah, we'll see. I think some of my big takeaways, I think defense. I thought the Cowboys, they certainly won first and second down. There wasn't a ton of like third and 7 to 3rd and 10 like situations throughout that entire game. I feel like they were ahead of the sticks pretty much the entire 4 quarters in overtime and didn't really allow for maybe some of those unique stuff from Halfley. So that was kind of a concern that if the Packers, they stopped the run so well, the first 2 weeks especially, and I know Juckins had a decent game week 3, but Javonte was really good, and then just some of their short passes on first down as well to the Cowboys to set themselves up for second, third, and short just kind of took maybe some of the Packers' strengths away. So that's something to keep an eye out for. Another one, and this is just, I think, a Packers thing in general, and we'll talk about this on Third Down the Coaching. It feels like sometimes when this defense gets punched or if something doesn't go right for a couple consecutive series, they kind of just like give into it and let kind of bad get to like worse. And that's kind of what it seemed like to me when the Cowboys finally started to get something going there in the second quarter that just kind of snowballed through the rest of the game. They never really made that play to get a stop. It just kind of was a snowball effect. So is that a LaFleur thing? I don't know. We'll talk about that on the third down here of the coaching side of guys like responding. But that's something I've noticed too is any time that the defense gets punched or the offense comes down, makes a knife try or a big play or, back-to-back series or score, that instead of kind of stepping up sometimes, it just gets worse and worse and snowballs. And that's something I think that we saw certainly against the Cowboys. And yeah, I don't know. I think it's just going to be a unique outlier. Hopefully, I don't think that's going to be what the defense looks like the rest of the year. Like I said, I think Dak played like out of his mind, like that throw that he had scrambling to his right, where the receiver comes out of nowhere, 40 yards downfield, tiptoes the line, like that. That just kind of summed up the Cowboys quarters 2 through 4 there of just some of the things that they had going for them. And yeah, the Pickens play as well was pretty good. Yeah, Mike.
That play you just talked about where Dak just chucked it up on the sideline there, that goes exactly back to what you were just saying about the defense, about how like when they get punched, things aren't going their way. They just kind of back down. Like you could see Keyshawn just give up on that
Yeah.
play.
Yeah.
I mean, the receiver, he just absolutely gave everything he had, and you can just see Keyshawn just like giving up on it. Like, go contest it, dude.
Yeah.
The thing I was most, and I didn't really say this, but like throughout that entire game, and last time I checked, we still have an all-pro safety, but like where the fuck was X this entire game? Like, I don't know. It's a leadership issue. I feel like since Kenny Clark's gone, like you would think he just would have X would have stepped in and been the leader, and like he was like I don't know. I don't know if it's I don't know. There's nobody, like it just seems like nobody holds them accountable. Like they play when they want to. Like they don't bring their own juice. Like 2 games at home, fucking on fire. The crowd's giving them energy. Now 2 games in the road. Like the defense played good enough against the Browns. The Browns offense sucks. So I don't know how good they actually did play. Well, you really going to go back and look at? I have no idea. Doesn't matter. It's just like I don't know. There's like no accountability and like energy or whatever the fuck term you want to use. Like Mike kind of said. So I don't know who that's on. I'm gonna say coaching, obviously, but at the same time, they're fucking adults in the NFL getting paid the amount they're getting paid. You'd think they'd like had their own juice and tried a little bit, but I don't know. There's an issue there.
All right, let's go to third down. We've talked about coaching. I want to start with the game management side. Actually, no, let's start with the special team side of things. Where are we at with that? Where are we at with just all these like just stupid mistakes and just like moments of lapses of like confidence or not confidence, concentration on field goals and Matthew Golden, returning punts and like almost like being out for several games with a concussion. Romeo Tubbs returning punts. Like it seems like there's really not a plan or any confidence right now in the special teams units, like whatsoever. Like, thank God, finally on field goal protection, they took out the backup tight ends, or at least one of them. I think they took out Musgrave and put in Elton Jenkins. I would hope that has to be like the play moving forward, is like, I think Riley mentioned it last week, like big beefy guys there to just like help actually block and like anchor and hold so we can get the freaking kickoff. But like, my goodness, this is becoming like a pattern and a problem of just all these little miscues on special teams. Where are we at with that? I mean, obviously, Bisaccia is not going to get fired. Like, he's going to be there for the whole season. It's going to be, let's use this bye week to make changes. Are we actually going to see any changes, or like what the heck? Where are we at with the special teams right now? To at least, I don't expect them to be like a top 5 unit in the league, but like, can we just get to a point where it's like average and tolerable and it doesn't lose us games? Like maybe they're not going to win us a game, maybe like a kick here or there, but like it seems like special teams are hurting us more right now and like costing field positions or just momentum in games. And right now where it's just year after year now in the kind of LaFleur year where that's been the case, right?
Riley's got something to get off his chest. We could see it.
I don't know, and I want to say it's Goody, but like we only had 52 fucking guys on our roster. They could have signed some random punt returner and just activated him for a game this week. For one. Two, this is on the floor as well. Is why the fuck like you said, Bisaccia is not going to get fired. I don't know why. That's fucking stupid. It's Tuesday of bye week. Fire him. They should have fired him yesterday. like we're gonna take this bye week to look at stuff. You fixed it in game because you just put defensive linemen in instead of your shitty tight end. 3, why the fuck are Luke Musgrave and Fitzpatrick on the fucking team? 1, you're not going to use him on offense. I said the Musgrave stat before. Why is he in there if he's just going to block? 2, he can't place fucking field goal, PAT, because he can't block again for the second time. So why is he on the team? Go fucking get Mercedes Lewis out of retirement and get a blocking tight end in there if that's all you're going to use him for anyways. Like, it's not like we're out here spreading out Musgrave. Like, there's no point for those two to be on the team. Like, what are we fucking doing team management-wise? So this is partly on Goody, I would assume. Actually, it's not. It's on the floor. I think Goody probably thought they'd fucking use Luke Musgrave in the like everybody in the goddamn world fucking talked about. Like, that's Musgrave's thing, and we're just not gonna do that, I guess. So LaFleur sucks. Okay, I'm out on LaFleur. As long as he's the head coach, the Packers aren't gonna win. The players don't respect him. His plan, like management, like this is all like what the fuck. There's no reason for Bisaccia like to have a job. Like, how can you honestly like walk into your team and just in a team meeting and say, like, yeah, he's still gonna be here when like they can all be like why? Like, just don't put dipshits out there in PAT that can't run block, let alone withstand a field goal block when there's more beef coming at you than ever before. Like, it's just such a shit show. LaFleur, I don't know what the fuck he's doing. Offense is supposed to be his thing, and that's fucking all bullshit right now, in my opinion. I'm sure others would disagree. Whatever. That's just my opinion. I think it's bullshit. I don't know how Bisaccia has a job. He's done nothing besides luck out on finding a punter. Nothing else has been him. I don't know. He hasn't found a kick returner in his however long he's been there. What, his 4th year now? He found Keyshawn, I guess, and for some reason, he just doesn't do it anymore, and we get shitty field position with Bo Melton and fucking Savion's fine, I guess, but he's not really that type of guy. I don't know why Savion's not the punt returner. He doesn't care about getting hit. Like, that's his thing. And then, I don't know. I just don't know what Bisaccia does besides just act like he's important. And maybe LaFleur thinks he's going to lose the culture of the team because there is like 8 ex-Raiders players that played for him on the team for somehow. I don't know, but it doesn't seem like they play hard anyway, so I don't know what he's worried about. I think he's going to get himself fired by keeping Bisaccia on. I think Mr. Policy is gonna, I don't know. The way he walks around next, LaFleur better figure something out because I'm not so sure he's not gonna get fucking canned as well. I don't know if Policy seems like the type of guy that's gonna sit around and let this shit fly. He's gonna just lay in the weeds like a fucking snake, and he's just gonna rip somebody's head off at some point in time. And I don't know. It's bad. LaFleur is bad right now. It's bad. I think other teams are laughing at the Packers right now on how it's poorly managed, and then just beaten. I texted Collin like that end of the, and I said kind of earlier, like that was the biggest chicken shit, soft pussy play going. Like he was like not trying to win that game when it was basically go score a touchdown and win the game. He was not trying to do that. How does that make any fucking sense? Like at all? Like you knew you had to go for it on 4th down. You had an extra play every fucking set of 10 yards. So like you would think like in one of those times where they had 2 4th downs in that drive too as well, but like they just didn't even think it was all conservative check down bullshit. Like you have an extra play. Maybe out of one of these 4 plays, because you have an extra play, let's fucking take a shot and see if your fucking 4-2 rookie can like end the fucking game. Because last time I checked, Jordan Love can still throw the ball 80 yards. Like they just, oh my God. I'm out on LaFleur. He sucks. No, like the players don't respect him. They don't play hard for him. They don't play hard for him. Nobody can like have a real argument they play hard for LaFleur. They don't. Like the only thing he's done positive this year for me is not lose every fucking challenge. He's like 50% at least. So that's all he's done for me.
Something I just want to add real quick, then we'll go to you, Mike. I just want to follow up on LaFleur too, because here's where I'm at. I think he's like a really good offensive mind. Like I think that's there, but like I think that like full potential is like being taken away because he has to manage like this entire team and the whole game, and I don't think he's really built for that. At least from what I've seen so far, I think he's got like the concentration thing, like the frustration of losing his temper at times, and so many times the play clock going around, the end of the half management and stuff. Like I know what did he say today was like the last play of overtime, or the second to last play of overtime before we even almost didn't even get a field goal off, was like watching a slow motion car wreck, and like he hopes like the rest of the league uses that teach tape. Well, buddy, that like reflects on you. Like that's something that you have to kind of set the tone on. Like, yes, it's Jordan Love as well, but like you're the one calling plays, you're the head coach. That kind of reflects on you as well. So I don't know. I think it's in there. Like he's a smart play caller. Like I feel like if he got fired and someone hired as an offensive coordinator and he just focused on that, he'd probably be a head coach again, like in the next like couple of years, because I think if he just focused on that side of things, his strengths and what he knows, and what we've seen from him, like he's a brilliant mind. I just haven't seen like the full, like you mentioned, the full part of being a head coach of like winning the locker room over like just some of these like stupid mistakes that the Packers have made now the last 3 years. Like we've talked about, like, yeah, this is a young team. I know it's the youngest roster in the NFL, so, but this is the same roster you've pretty much had core for the last 3 years now. So like that same kind of excuse, like you can't use that anymore. Like we're losing games the same way we lost games Jordan Love's first year as a starter, and that's not good. Like that kind of reflects, I think, on the coach and the coaching side of things. And just, yeah, some of his game management stuff. And I don't know, like, I think he's like a good coach. Like I said, I just don't know. Like to me, he'd be a guy that if he got fired or they mutually parted ways and he took a step back and maybe like reflected on, some of the things he did wrong, and maybe an OC for a couple of years, I feel like he'd be a guy that would be more mature and come back better like his second time as a head coach as another team. That's kind of where I'm at with him. It's tough. It's tough to get behind him when the Packers are losing games like this. Like these last two games, like so frustrating. If this is a team that's going to seriously like compete to win a Super Bowl, like these last two losses are like laughed upon. Of like, yes, I know the Browns have a good defense, but you freaking find a way to win that game. Like the last 5 minutes of that game, disastrous. That's all on coaching. I think that's poor coach team that just didn't execute, mental mistakes, got it away from them. And then the Cowboys side of things, there was so many opportunities and so many mistakes, I think, to win that and get out of there 4-0. So that's just where I'm at right now. It's tough to get behind him, and I don't know. Like, does he have the balls to like just like take accountability and rip into the players and I don't know, like actually make some changes and try to set the foundation and get this back on track? I guess we'll see. We'll see in like what, a week and a half, but that's kind of where I'm at right now with him.
Yeah, I mean, I'm usually like one of the bigger LaFleur defenders, you could say, but I mean this game, in my opinion, is first and foremost mostly on him. Just the way that they managed the end of the half, going about that, like just run it, just get out of there. Like there's no need to put yourself in that situation. And then the end of the game, I do think they were going for the win, but I feel like they were hedging to try to not give Dallas any time. I mean, I'm going to take him at his word when he says today that they're supposed to be in 2-minute versus no huddle. I mean, whatever that means, I don't know. But clearly something wasn't communicated to Jordan and the rest of the offense that they needed to go quicker. I mean, that communication needs to come from him. Like, I don't know how that's not communicated. I mean, at the same time, the players, like, they need to be aware of that too. Like, you're a professional football player. You got to be aware of the situation. But I mean, that starts and ends with Matt LaFleur.
We were 1 second away for us talking about this podcast of how the hell did the Packers end the game on a bullshit throw to the end zone and not kick a field goal for the tie. Like that second to last play was absolutely insane how that entire thing was handled to me. Like they almost deserve
my mind.
They almost deserve for that to run out, just like how lackadaisical and how like mishandled that whole thing was. So I don't know, like from my standpoint, and like this is probably not true, but like this is just where I'm at with the floor. Like I don't even know like he knew like where the clock was the final like 2.5 minutes of the game. Like that's where I think I'm at with him as like a head coach and be able to like manage multiple things at the same time. Like I almost think he forgets like where he's at certain points of the game or certain situations of the game. And like you said, it's not communicated to Love or the offense. And that's kind of what it looked like. Like, yes, I know. Was there a thought of like, let's not give, Brandon Aubrey any opportunity to kick a 70-yarder to tie it? But like that to me is like, that shouldn't be in your fucking mind. Like, just go win the game. Like, who cares? Like, Dallas wasn't stopping them. Like, they played conservative and they still drove down all there. Like, I know they had to make that 1 4th down play, but you were moving the ball at ease for the entire night. Like, just go fucking win it. Like, to me, like, the clock shouldn't have been an issue. It should have been like a normal offense. Do what you've been doing all night and go fucking end it. Get into the bye 3-1. But to me, he put his foot off the gas, and that's been his mantra, like we've said, the last how many years, all gas, no brakes, and just not seeing that as much lately. But I don't know. That's just where I'm at to kind of have that mindset of like, let's not give Dallas a chance to win just in case we get a field goal. Like, that's a losing mindset to me. Like, go fucking win the game anyways when Dallas hasn't been able to stop you all night. Like, that's where I'm at and why I think that's total like BS of like any sort of like that, like backing it up. But I don't know.
He just coaches like, yeah, and he's like, it's so random. He coaches so scared. Like Mike said, the drive at the end of the first half, like, why are you being aggressive now? And then at the end of the game, he's not aggressive. The first fucking drive of the game, I about threw my remote through the TV and just said, fuck this. It's 4th and 1 at like the 47-yard line on Dallas's side, and they fucking take a delay game. It's like, motherfucker, how do you not just either run the ball? Like, Dallas's defense sucks. Let's run the ball. To have a special play. Like, he is the only offensive head coach in the NFL. Think of all the offensive head coaches. I'm not going to list them all. Like, you guys can think of your top 4 or 5 instantly, and there's more. They all go for that because they're fucking actually confident in themselves. Like, they are confident they have created a fucking play that week that they can go to get a yard, to set whatever. They fucking take a delay game. And then, like Mike said, like I brought up, like, that he's going to be aggressive at the fucking end of the first half when, like, there's no fucking reason. It's just so random. It's like he has no idea. Like, that's why I brought up the Ed policy thing. To me, and it's even more so this year, he seems like he's so freaked out. Like, he's trying not to be the reason they lose instead of just, like, coaching. Like, I think fucking Ed policy, like, said something to him or something. He's so freaked out. Because, like, it's so random, makes no sense. He's the only offensive head coach in the NFL that's fucking not fucking confident in either himself or all of his players. Like, the Dolphins are dog shit, and Mike McDaniel last night, after fucking Tyreek broke his entire leg in half, he's still out here being more aggressive. And he's 0-3, and, like, everybody's telling him he's going to get fired if they lose. Like, what the fuck are we doing? Like, I don't know what his problem is. I don't know. Yeah, he's fucking like gone. He's like at a point where, yeah, he needs to like stop calling plays because he can't do it, or like go to a therapist and release whatever is going on block because it's not even consistent. Like, I'd be fine if it was like Dan Campbell type and he just did dumb shit and went for it all the time. But like, he's so fucking. It's like you don't know. And there's no no rhyme or reason. It's like, why are you doing this now? Like, you could have done this before when it was a better, like, I don't know. I don't know where his headspace is at.
And I think it exactly said it. I think he's just so tight. He's like just so tight and just comes across to me as like a nervous guy sometimes. And I don't know if that's just how he like talks with the media, and I don't know. Like, he's tight. Sometimes his offense just looks tight. We'll see. I don't know. Maybe he needs a nice shot before every single game just to loosen himself up and get a little more relaxed or something. I don't know. Give him some Aaron Rodgers muscle relaxers that he's used in the past in some of his comebacks. But all right. Well, I think that's a good place to end the 3-and-out segment. Mike, let's go to Lambeau lines, because I know you have some focusing on the first quarter of the season and moving forward. So it is time for Lambeau lines and fill in the blanks.
Yeah, so we're about quarter of the way through the seasons. We'll just kind of mark this as the quarter mark here at the bye. First and foremost, very simply, right now the Packers are blank.
They are good. They're good, not great, I think, right now. Again, they beat two good teams. They lost to, I'm still going to call the Browns a bad team with a good defense. And then I think the Cowboys are a very average team. So very inconsistent. They're a good team that has a lot of potential to be a great team and be a true Super Bowl contender, but right now it's just too many little mental errors and too many mistakes, and just how these last two games have went, like that just shows me right now that they're not quite there yet. In a lot of these different facets. So they're a good team, but I don't think they're a great team.
Yeah, I would just say that they're just like in school, like they're just an incomplete assignment. Like I don't fucking know what this team's identity. Like I said, I don't know what they are in offense. After this last game, I don't know what the fuck. And I love Halfley. I don't know what he's trying to do on defense either. Like the whole identity change. There's no pressure. Yeah. So I'm just gonna say they're an incomplete assignment. They stuck and like I said, I texted Collin, like, or I don't even know who I said to. Like the fucking talent's there. Like, cause they're running shit on offense, in my opinion, and they still scored 40. And like LaFleur's not even trying to score 40, doesn't seem like half the time. Um, they beat two good teams, so like obviously like the level is there, but like I don't know, they just don't seem to. It's not consistent, like Collin said. So I'm just gonna say I have no idea what they might miss the playoffs. They could still win the Super Bowl. I have no fucking clue. They're an incomplete assignment.
All right, next one. The best surprise has been blank. Go player, unit, aspect. Best surprise has been blank.
I mean, I think it's tough not to say Quay Walker. I mean, I think Quay Walker's played out of his mind. I think Riley's mentioned him a couple times.
This week he sucked.
This
Week he was fucking dog shit last summer.
This week he was a little like on the bumpy side, but I think it's not, it's tough not to, say this entire season. The first three games I thought he was really good. This last game maybe not so much. I don't think Edge played that well either. Missed a lot of tackles in the linebacker core, but I didn't see this coming from Quay. Like I was almost all out on Quay. We talked about this preseason, so like the level that he has played at for stretches this season so far, I think has been like the biggest surprise to me. So I'm still gonna say Quay Walker. Like yes, he hasn't played great every single game. He's not. By no means am I saying he's like a top 10 linebacker in the league, but like I'm surprised that he's played up to the level that he has, especially those first couple wins, and being able to stop the run and tackle. So.
For me, it's just the entire interior defensive line group. Like that was the only question of the defense after Kenny Clark got whatever traded away, obviously, and like this last game was by far their first outing, and pretty sure the Cowboys were still held under 120 totally rushing yards, which obviously over 100 is not great, but under 120 that's still fine. Like that should win you games. Like obviously. Dak passed for 315 or 117. That's still pretty good in the NFL. So, and obviously the first two games they held both those teams under 60. I don't know what the Browns was. I think that was right at 100 as well. I think they're top whatever 5. So, just the interior. Colby Wood specifically. I think Nazir Stackhouse played good last week when he came in after Devontae Wyatt got hurt. So, we're gonna have to see how Warren Brinson is because it sounds like Devontae Wyatt's going to be out for a couple weeks as well. So. Yeah, I'm pleased with those 4 guys, and we'll see Warren Brinson, the 5 guys now. Like I think us losing Kenny Clark is not it's a non-factor. Like that's not been a real thing, not been an issue. So happy with those guys.
All right. On the flip side, the worst surprise or the most disappointing player, unit, aspect of the team has been blank.
Yeah, I think. Oh, maybe we talked about this. I know me and Riley have. Elton Jenkins, like 100% at center, has been terrible, like absolutely terrible. Like go look at like his run block grade, his pass block grade. I think just from like what we thought we were gonna get from him of like still being on the interior of the offensive line, just moving a spot over, and people are talking about he could be, a Pro Bowl center, an All-Pro center at that level. I haven't seen it like yet. I feel like there's been a lot of pressure up the middle. We've talked about these 4 games. the run game hasn't really got going, and the offensive line just hasn't really looked cohesive. Like the dude's got to like look between his legs, like right up to the snap, which is like unheard of, I think, in the NFL. And these are
with that?
they've been talked about. So I don't know. I would have to say that's like my kind of biggest loser and biggest like losing surprise so far. Because I thought Elton was going to be one of like the strong points and anchor of this offensive line. That's been like the furthest from the case right now.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I could jump on the special teams and whatever, but I'll stick with what counts. I'm just going to expand it. I'm going to say Elton Jenkins and both guards. And Banks hasn't played much. When he has, not been good. Sean Ryan, he's just not a good starting NFL right guard. Like Alan just said, we were texting, like, I said, I'm like, these guys both suck. Can we fucking like switch them? Sean Ryan can't be worse at guard and Elton Jenkins can't be worse at center. Then they both can play the opposite position. So maybe let's just switch them and see if that does anything. But yeah, I don't know. Jordan Morgan being in there, and that's not his fucking position. He's not a guard. He's not big enough, strong enough to play with the level of defense, how big and strong defensive tackles are. He's more of an athlete out in space. So they're putting him in a bad spot. So yeah, the inside three, obviously when Zach Tom plays the right tackle, he's fine. I think Rasheed Walker is played at the level that Rasheed Walker is capable of playing. That's just who he is. He's fine. The inside three are not good. I would in fact say they suck. So I don't know what they'll do there besides just hopefully get healthy, or I don't know what they can do in the bye week. I don't know. But yeah, those inside three in general are not good.
All right, last one. Up to this point, the Packers have only forced 2 turnovers, 2 interceptions. One against Cleveland, you can argue was almost like a bad turnover, put the offense at a disadvantageous position. Probably should have knocked it down on 4th down. So the last Lambeau line, the lack of turnovers thus far is blank.
I'll be honest, I'm a little bit surprised, like the sack side of things, that there hasn't been like a strip sack or like any big play from like the pass rushing or blitzing. Like that's probably been the biggest surprise of, I think, these first 4 games. Especially having someone like Micah Parsons, who, even though he's been doubled, like he's still like a wrecker and been able to get after the quarterback, and some of the athletic linebackers and blitzing like that. That's probably where I've been most surprised about. Just because, like, against them, with the exception of some of Dak's like insane throws, I feel like offenses have been very boring against this defense as well, of just kind of taking what the Packers have gave them and not really taking shots. Like the Lions didn't really take too many shots. Commanders didn't really take too many shots. Browns can't take shots because it's Joe Flacco. Like, yeah, Dak played out of his mind on some of the throws. So I'm not too surprised on like the interception side of things. I'm more surprised like just in terms of getting after the quarterback and some of these blitzes that they've done and the pass rushers that they had, that they haven't really caused more turnovers in that side. And I hope that's something that we potentially see here moving forward, because that can obviously be game changer and momentum changer, for this group and for this team. So that's kind of where I'm at right now, I think.
Yeah, I'm in the same spot. This will be one spot where I'm actually positive about this week, but I'll just say unlucky. Like even to build off what Collin just said, like they showed that that high, or the replay like 27 times of the one time that Micah got pressure and he like the uppercut and he literally missed Dak's arm and it would have been a fumble of the ball by like half an inch. So many pressures, no strip sacks. That's unlucky. Like the game, you look at the Commanders, like Keyshawn Nixon had 5 pass breakups. He touched the ball 5 times, and there's been multiple times, and the DBs are not coming down with it. They're making plays on the ball majority of the time, or they had been until this last game. So, yeah, just unlucky that it just hasn't went their way, and you would assume if they keep up the rate that they are, it'll change. So on the positive, I'll try to stay positive on the side. I think it's just bad luck for the most part.
Yeah, it's funny how through a lot of training camp we heard about their one coach. I don't remember his name, but they call him the Ball King, because they're really making an emphasis on punching the ball out. Right? We heard how many times were they punching the ball out against the offense, and that hasn't come to fruition yet. I mean, it does seem like they've been making an effort to do that. It just hasn't happened yet. So hopefully, as the season progresses, we'll see some of that. All right, that's Lambeau Lines.
All right, awesome stuff. And going off that last question, I think it's pretty set up now. Getting back at Lambeau Field from what we saw from the Bengals last night, and how much they struggled offensively. Like, yes, they still have
And it
weapons,
better
but
be.
it is set up for them to completely just take that game over and get back on track. If not, then we might be having a different conversation. But the Bengals are very susceptible, I think, to some turnovers, potentially of getting after them with some strip sacks or maybe on the back end as well. So we'll kind of see how that plays out. But all right, before we get to the final drive, college football, Badgers bye. But I do want to talk a little bit about the big Oregon Penn State game, because that was probably the one of the bigger games. Well, obviously the biggest game so far in the Big Ten this season, and one of the bigger games in college football. How surprised were you that Oregon came in and on a whiteout, on one of the most like crazy crowds of any kind of atmosphere throughout the entire season, and pretty much dominated that game for like 3.5 quarters. I know Penn State obviously comes back, their forces overtime, but then they answer the call and win in double overtime to get out of there for a win. Was it surprising at all, or did you kind of see that coming potentially that maybe Penn State hasn't obviously neither of them had played anyone yet, on the schedule wise, but where were you at after that win, and where would you kind of put Oregon maybe, just with the rest of the college football world from what you've seen, winning there in State College?
I'm not surprised at all. I think Dan Lanning is probably one of the top 3 coaches, arguably, in college football right now. I think he just has a way of getting his team ready to play for any game. I mean, obviously the Rose Bowl last year, you could point it and be like, no, he didn't, because they got blown out by Ohio State. But I mean, until James Franklin shows that he can win a big game, no matter the atmosphere, like I don't believe in him or Penn State. Um, so it wasn't that shocking to me. I didn't really get to watch most of the game, but that wasn't shocking to me at all.
Yeah, I would say I was more surprised that they got to overtime. Like I thought it was gonna go like it did for 3.5 quarters, and Oregon would run away with these. I'm just not, and I mean, you can go back to the college football bowl preseason. Like I've never been high on Penn State. Like you don't just lose Abdul Carter and Tyler Warren, your entire defense, your entire offense. I don't care who else you have back. Like they were literally the entire offense and defense, and just like come back. Like Drew Aller was not that guy last year, and that's what everybody's gripe was. Just one off season. Like he's still not the fucking guy, and he has no Tyler Warren to throw to. Like teams are going to continue to stack the box against those 2 stud running backs and make Drew Aller beat him, and he still has to this point not shown that he can. So yeah, nothing's going to change. They're not very good, and I would say Oregon's probably there. I agree. Dan Laney's definitely a top 3 coach in the entire country. They're fifth-ish best team probably. I think there's definitely 3 or 4 solid ones ahead of them for sure. I would say right now. I just don't know how they would match up against a team that's like being physical up front, because their offensive line is solid, but I don't know if they're great, and their defensive line's kind of the same. I don't know if they have the size that like these big like Miami, Ohio State, like they can match up with those guys. I don't know. That'll be interesting.
Bama had their get right game against Wisconsin. Is Bama back? Big win over Georgia. Kind of a little bit of a surprise, maybe. Is Bama like officially back? I think obviously they're clearly back in college football conversation, but are they like back to being potential like contenders again to maybe win it all?
Uh, Maybe, I don't know. Ty Simpson's playing really well. I mean, I didn't really I didn't really see many of the games on Saturday. Just kind of saw the results, but so it's hard for me to say yes or no on that. I mean, it's hard to argue against the results they've been getting the last few weeks. Um, but I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, they still got to stack more games for me. Like, I mean, it's a great bounce back for the entire team to bore, after the shit show that was Florida State to start the year. But like Tennessee just dropped like 40 points on Georgia. So like, I just, don't ma- I just, I like it's more. more of a proven fact that maybe Georgia's defense just isn't that good. So, I mean, Alabama's defense, like I said, big bounce back. They're obviously playing better. I don't know how good Gunnar Stockton is for Georgia as well either. So, like, they got to stack more games. I mean, we'll see how Alabama's defense does against Diego Pavia and Vanderbilt beat their ass last year. So, that's where game day's at this week. So we'll see. They got to stack more games. So the SEC is such a gauntlet. Like, you truly don't know, like, who's that good. I mean, LSU just lost, and how good was actually LSU? Like, they barely beat Florida with like 5 interceptions, and Florida's just dog shit. And I don't know who in the SEC is actually good. They might all just be very average. I have no idea.
And hey, Illinois, they're not dead yet. They're not dead yet. Must win, and they got her done in game-winning field goal fashion. But obviously, the true test will be in 2 weeks. Obviously, if they get blown, they play Ohio State in 2 weeks in Champaign.
Who did they play?
They played USC this past week, which was
a number. They tried to lose. Illinois tried to lose. Illinois should have won by 3 touchdowns. You know, they fumbled twice. Like, I don't know what. They just do dumb shit. I don't know why.
Yeah. Still not sure what I think about that team, but they should beat Purdue. That should set up another top 20 matchup with Ohio State at home. Probably the biggest game in Champaign since, I don't know when, Juice Williams last time they beat Ohio State, once in a lifetime ago. So we'll see. Or was that at Ohio State? No, that was in Champaign, wasn't it?
I mean, it was at Ohio State.
Yeah, maybe that was at Ohio State.
2007.
Okay. So yeah, maybe
November.
Yeah, one of the bigger games in Champaign in recent memory. So we'll see kind of how that goes. But all right, let's go final drive. We got some picks to do. Mike, Riley, how'd we do last week? So first let's talk about this. Packers, Cowboys, that's a wash, right? We're not putting a tie on our record. That's just pretty much doesn't count, or what?
I did.
You put a tie on your record?
Tie.
I put it as a loss.
So are we counting that as what? Nothing? Something? Wash it?
Make it a tie.
Make it a tie? Okay.
What it was?
Well, so to get a win, would we have actually had to say, like, oh, this game's going to end in a tie?
I guess. I don't know.
I don't know.
Who would ever guess that?
Yeah, that's exactly. All right, I guess we can put it down. We'll put it down as a tie, but all right. So that means I went 3-2-1, and I am now 9-11-1. Mike, where are you at?
I went 4-1-1. So that puts me at 11-9-1.
Okay, and then Riley, you had a rough week, right?
Riley had a tough week.
Yeah. I don't know. I only have like 9 or 10 wins total. I have no idea.
Riley he doubled up on the Raiders with his underdog pick. Won the Steelers and Lions, lost the Chargers. So 2-3-1.
Fucking Chargers. What the fuck are the Chargers doing?
Puts him at 10-10-1. So he's exactly 500.
All right, so Mike, have you taken the lead by a game?
By a game.
Over Riley, 2 games over me. So, all right, so that takes us to week 5. Packers, they're obviously on bye. Bears, they're also on bye. So that means we only have the Vikings, the Lions, your lock, and your upset. So only 4 games to pick from this week, so a little shorter. So let's start in the division. And this is going to be in London. The Vikings are just staying overseas, and they are going to play the Cleveland Browns in another early game. So we have the Vikings and the Browns. Who's going to start at quarterback for the Vikings? We don't know yet. Carson Wentz, or is J.J. McCarthy going to be back? We'll start with you, Mike. Who do you got in this one?
So I kind of went back and forth on this one. This was a tough one for me. Browns are 3.5-point underdogs right now. I'm gonna go with the Browns. Minnesota's O-line is banged up right now. We all saw what Cleveland's defensive line can do, how good that defense is. Questions at the quarterback position for Minnesota. Uh, give me Cleveland in this one.
Riley.
Yeah, everything Mike just said, I'm going to double down on. Like Carson Wentz, I'm assuming he's going to start. So Carson Wentz under pressure tends to do a lot of dumbass things, and going off the banged up offensive line. So the Browns just traded for a tackle, so that'll actually help their offensive line. So maybe they can run the ball, control the clock a little bit, make Carson Wentz do a few stupid things, and steal this game.
I think Quinshon Judkins is pretty good too. And the Browns are making sure that they're giving him like every single opportunity just with like the workload he's gotten these last couple games. So dang, I thought I was maybe gonna go a little different from you guys, but I also did Browns over Vikings. And I will make a note. They are also my upset of the week. I am doubling down on the Browns as the upset.
So am I.
All right, so me and Riley,
My upset.
Browns
Wow.
over Vikings, doubling up our upset in that pick. So,
Right.
all right, let's go to the other divisional game in the NFC North, the Lions and the Bengals. We'll start with you, Riley. I'm going to assume that I know what you're going to go, but talk to me about Lions and Bengals.
Yeah, the Lions are going to beat the absolute shit out of the Bengals. I would be shocked if this is like even within 20 points.
Mike?
Yeah, same thought. Train of thought for me. Lions over Cincinnati. I fully expect them to open an absolute can on Cincinnati. They know how to actually like destroy teams over in Detroit. Like once they take that lead over an inferior team, fully expect them to just blow their doors off.
Yeah, they beat the crap out of teams that they're supposed to beat. Like that's something Dan
Yes.
Campbell's done in the last couple of years. So
Yes.
yeah, I don't think this is gonna be close either. So I have Lions over Bengals, and I'm also making it my lock of the week too. So I'm
Jeez.
doubling up on both of the games. So week 5, I'm doing Lions over Bengals. So hopefully can get a couple points there. So I'm all done with my lock and upset. Riley already picked his upset. So Mike, who is your upset of the week?
My underdog, I went with the Giants. 1.5 point underdogs over the Saints. I know.
I don't know how
Could be
that's
Jackson. I know, but it's Jackson Dart's first road start, so it's in New Orleans, without Malik Neighbors now. So that's probably why the line is what it is right now. But I'm going with the Giants as my underdog. It's probably going to be close. I would expect it to be a close game, but I think Giants squeak it out.
All right, let's go to our locks of the week. I already told you mine, so we'll go to you two. We'll start with you, Riley. Who is your lock of the week?
So I am going to go, and I don't really know if I like it, but I do at the same time. I'm going to go with the Arizona Cardinals over the Titans. Like the Titans, like Cam Ward and their head coach, they just like seem like they hate their lives already and like just so out. And like the Cardinals, I think the Seahawks are a good team, and the Cardinals played the Seahawks very tough last Thursday. So extra time to prepare for this game for the Cardinals as well. And I actually, and like I said, I'm surprised that like they actually played solid. And I just think the Titans are just dead already. So I'm going to go with the Arizona Cardinals over the Titans.
All right, so my lock of the week, I'm going Chargers over the Commanders. There's a few other games I like better, but there were teams that I've already picked this year, such as like the Lions and the Bills. I just think the Chargers, they get right this week after that disappointing loss against Giants. I think Commanders, I don't know if Jaden's going to be back yet, Jaden Daniels. I think they're a little banged up too. Washington is. So Chargers at home, get right game. Give it to me for my lock.
All right, and there is our week 5 picks in the final drive. If you want to comment for any picks that you have of the NFC North games, the lock, the upset, feel free to. We will enjoy and give you a little shout out if you wanted to do that. But Spotify comments or any comments, I haven't been monitoring. Did we have any comments? Nothing that I've seen since in last week's episode, which I don't blame you after the Browns loss. We'll see if we get some this game after back-to-back disappointing games going into the bye week.
Better.
Give us some comments if you listen every week, especially on the bye. We'd love to kind of see what you think. These first 4 weeks of the season, that's been some roller coasters, some really highs and some really lows so far, and just what you think of the Packers on both sides of the ball and moving forward. So make sure to comment on Spotify or YouTube or Apple, however you listen to your podcasts. All right, well, that's where we're at with the bye week. We will be back next week to preview the Bengals game, which me and Riley will be at. It'll be back at Lambeau, a 3:25 window game. So excited to get to Lambeau and see that. But any closing thoughts? Got to give a shout out to Mike. Mike got her done on Saturday, Riley. Got her done on Saturday, Riley. He shocked me.
Dusted him.
He shocked me. He shocked me. Was like what'd you run? Like a 7:45 pace or something like that? Like it was under 8 minutes. 7:35 pace. Did not see that coming. So we'll see. No excuses. He beat me up fair and square, but I'm gonna be running another one in like a month and a half, and we'll let you know how it goes. So yeah, we're running one up here in Howard Swamico area. Swamico's got like a little festival called I think it's called like the Beer Belly Festival or something like that. It's their first ever one, so I was planning on doing that potentially and hopefully be 100% and feel good about it. So we'll see.
How did the Jameson taste afterward?
It was rough at 8:30 in the morning. So yeah, definitely set the tone for the rest of the day, I think. So yeah, we'll mixture, and then once you get to your 30s, you don't mix shots and Bloody Marys and beer all together. That doesn't usually turn out very well. So thank you for that one, Mike. But yeah, it was a fun weekend though. Haven't been to Oktoberfest and in lacrosse in 8 years, I think we were talking about. So first time being back with Hannah and Liam. Got to go on UWL campus, take some pictures, do some reminiscing. So that was all exciting. So yeah, it was an overall solid and good weekends. And kind of good to see everyone. So yeah.
UWL's got a big game this weekend too.
Okay, who do they have this weekend?
At Whitewater.
At Whitewater.
Number 5 versus number 9.
All right, have something to break down a little bit next week's episode. So massive battle in the WIAC here to really start WIAC play, right? So right off the bat here, because they've been on non-conference games in their bye week. So let's start it right away off with a bang, and see how the Eagles do for that. But all right, Riley, where you at this week with the Stockton boys? Undefeated so far. You don't really have anyone for a couple of weeks, right? I know you don't. You're not gonna talk down any opponent and take it week by week. But who you got this upcoming Friday?
We play the Galena Pirates at which I'm not from Stockton. I'm not from Stockton, so I don't get it. But like these two towns like hate each other. Like it's like insane hate. I mean, they'll be a playoff team. They made it to the quarterfinals last year. The best quarterback we're gonna play all year. So
a little bit of
different challenge, spread team, different challenge than like our conference, obviously, ground and pound is used to. So it's just a little bit different. We'll see how we can attempt to contain him. How I'm gonna try to be a little more aggressive than Jeff Halfley was, and now he's gonna sit back in zone the entire game. So we'll see.
All right, we'll get the full recap at next week's episode. How we do from high school level all the way up to the WIAC. The Badgers are back. Are they going to win a game anymore this season? We'll see. And then maybe talk some of the NFL games as well. But all right, let's get out of here. Everyone, thanks for listening to the Dairyland Drive podcast. Trust me, there are blue skies ahead. Like maybe the last 2 weeks haven't been so great, but enjoy this bye week. Take a deep breath. decompress. Don't worry about the Packers this upcoming weekend. Go do something fun, and then we'll get back at it in a week and a half here when they return to Lambeau Field. So, as always, Collin, Mike, and Riley, thanks for listening to Dairyland Drive Podcast. We'll see you next episode.
Go Pack, go.